How's it going? We're Blitzkid, and you are watching KBK Live.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of KBK Live. This episode we're featuring Century Media band Blitzkid. A lot of you horror punk fans will enjoy this. Here with guys from Blitzkid. If you would introduce yourselves and tell us what you do.
I'm Kyle Goolsby, I play bass and I sing.
Rico Mortis, I play drums.
Nathan Bain, I play guitar.
Cool, and we're up here at the Muse in Nashville on 4th Avenue. So how was y'all's trip up here?
It was pretty uneventful, man. It was easy. Just straight Tennessee highways the whole way. So we had a good time. It was pretty smooth sailing.
Cool. Where did y'all play at before here?
Last night was Johnson City, Tennessee. We played a place called the Hideaway.
Okay.
It's kind of like a hometown audience for us because where we're based out of in Bluefield, West Virginia, there are no places to play. So years ago when this band started, we started playing in the Tri-Cities area, like Bristol, Johnson City, Kingsport.
Right.
So a lot of the clubs in Bristol shut down, and the Hideaway has been going pretty strong for a while now. So it was a nice way to kick off the tour.
Nice. And y'all were saying that this tour is TV's farewell tour?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and how come he's doing that?
Well, primarily because he's married now, and like his lifestyle doesn't comply with a touring lifestyle. And to be honest, you know, as he's stated to me, he's just not really interested in playing this kind of music anymore. He wants to pursue other things.
That's definitely the go ahead.
Yeah.
Leave if it's not interesting anymore, you know?
It's like, you know, it's one thing to have like, you can hide it or and have somebody dial in every night, but I don't think the audience is stupid. You know what I mean? I don't want someone to be like, that guy doesn't like what he's doing. And it's not that he doesn't like it. I mean, primarily that's part of it. It seems like it's an issue of just like, as you know, we all get older, you know, interests develop and change, and I mean, ours is still the same. So
that's cool. And so tell me about the newest CD.
The new CD is called Apparitional, and it is going to be released. It's got 2 release dates right now. It's going to be released March 21st in Europe.
Okay.
Which is where we're signed. We're like a European signed band. There's 2 branches of the label that we're on, which is Century Media.
Yeah, I just read on the internet.
They have a subsidiary of People Like You Records.
Okay.
We got signed through that label in Europe, People Like You Records. Therefore, we're signed as well in America and all other territories through Century Media. But the release date for all the other territories is May 2nd.
Okay. And the one for here is
May 2nd.
May 2nd.
Yeah, and Europe is going to be March 21st.
Okay. Right. And what'd you say it was called again?
It's called Apparitional.
All right, tell us a little bit about the album, like the differences between it and your last one, and what you guys were really going for.
Well, specifically, like in writing the songs, what I looked for was an expansion off of what we did with our last album, 5 Cellars Below. We had released about 4 or 5 albums up until this album, 5 Cellars Below, and it kind of changed everything for us in the sense that when we first started writing, you know, we had influences, but we kind of, it's not that we were afraid to explore them, it's just we found something that worked for us and we stuck to it. But after 4 or 5 albums, it was time to, you know, either write the same album again or try to bring in more like influences that are on the fringe of, you know, our influences into the band. So we did it, and, you know, for all intents and purposes, I think it worked. And we toured that album for 2.5 years, and it kind of became a sound for us, you know, like I feel like we really developed our sound on that album. So on this record, you know, it didn't feel so lopsided. It wasn't like, we wrote 5 punk albums, let's see what, you know, we can do with our other influences. It was like, okay, we have these other influences that are just a part of our sound now. Let's bring back a little bit of like more punk roots and see what it sounds like. So, you know, that's pretty much how I see it.
Yeah. I think it's a good mix of everything that Blitzkid's done up to it, you know, prior. It's like, there's pieces of every album in Apparitional. I think it's probably, in my opinion, the best record that's been recorded by the band.
It's definitely a musically diverse album.
Yeah. So, who was the original members?
Hey, look at that, man.
All 3 of you?
No, actually, it's me.
Just you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was when it first started, it was me and TV and a guy named Chris. And, you know, Chris was the family man early on. and so he had other priorities. He's still a really big part of this band. He helps us out a lot. We still see him hang out quite a bit. And in the 13 years we've been a band, you know, we've had member changes, but they've all pretty much been amicable. You know what I mean? Like it's not really been a situation where it's like, you know, screw you, I hate you, you know, and stuff like that. It's just people's priorities change. I mean, I've been kind of like focused on this band since I was 18 years old, you know what I mean? So I'm not really going anywhere with it.
Well, that's good.
As far as like my interest changing.
Right. And did you guys just get signed this year, or was it like?
So Century Media we did. I mean, here's the thing. Like last year, around last September, not the one that just passed, but September 2009. Okay. We just came off a touring cycle of an album called Anatomy of Reanimation, and it was just a lot of re-recordings that we decided to do because one of our members at that point had decided to move and leave the band and move on. So instead of recording a new record without a permanent member, and instead of hiring like, you know, a studio drummer, we were like, let's just wait until we find a permanent member. Let's put something out right now, because this was 2008, because we have, you know, like the studio time booked. So rather than do new songs, we just re-recorded old ones, which we had talked about doing for a long time, just to give them a little, like a little bit of a studio, just to bring them up to par with the more recent stuff that we were doing at that time, and to kind of bring it up to par with the way our new records were sounding.
Right.
And that went on for a little while. So in 2009, when all that slowed down, we were approached by people like Records, and you know, before that we were on a different label called Feed Force, and we told these guys like, hey, they're interested, you know, and the label's really cool that we were on Feed Force. They said, you know, do what you got to do, man. You know, your band needs to grow. You know, because they're like really cool like that as far as like their artists are concerned. Yeah, that's it. It just took a while for us to actually get signed, because when we got approached by people like Records, they were just then at that point merging with Century Media. So we had to wait like 9 months for them to clear all that red tape before we actually got the contract on the table. And once the contract hit, we recorded, and here we are.
That's awesome. That's one thing I did want to point out, that you guys have been around for over a decade.
Oh yeah.
Yet you still get signed. That actually brings a lot of hope to a lot of these bands that are out there. It's like, man, it's been 5 or 6 years. Do we really want to continue?
Yeah.
Definitely continue. These guys pull it off.
Yeah. You know, I'd say get a credit card, say your prayers, and keep going.
Go or broke.
That's it, man.
That's cool. Anything that you'd like to mention about like later shows coming up? This actually will come out for another month.
Yeah.
A month after today. So,
what do we have planned on this tour? This is our second night of the tour. So
really?
Yeah, we're heading out to as far as LA and across through the Midwest. So, do we have any notable shows? We're playing with the Soldiers. No, that show got moved. I don't know if we're playing that show or it got moved. We got put on something else, but I think one of the venues like Roots fell in or something, so we're getting moved. Yeah, we got a show with the Coffee Cats and Lower Class Brats in Austin day after tomorrow. And that's really it. I mean, right now we're just waiting on the record to come out, and we start touring in Europe like in April, because their release date's March, so we'll be able to do some festivals.
are y'all touring with any particular bands for that, or just?
No, I mean we've been headlining a lot of tours over there. We started going in 2004 to Europe, and we were like support acts in a lot of ways. And I guess after the label up there in Germany, Feed Force picked us up, we got more exposure when we started headlining. So I mean, this tour being our album release, will be headlining, but I'm sure we'll do festivals too, to where we're right.
Here's some live footage of them playing Pretty in a Casket at the Muse in Nashville, Tennessee.
This one goes out to every broad in the room. It's called Pretty in a Casket.
check out their CD coming out March 28th, Apparitional, being released by Century Media, of course. It's available in CD, digital download, and for all you analog fans out there, record. So, I got some fine websites for you guys to check out, and you've heard this one before, but it's such a great website, I think you should hear about it again. RevitalizeTheScene.com. You bands out there trying to promote yourselves, you can't go wrong with their compilation CDs. Also, check out Blabbermouth.net. My last episode with Soil was featured on there. Thanks, guys. Also, check out host Ray LeGrand's show, Nashville Metal Bands. Look him up on Facebook. He's got some really good interviews and live footage on there. And lastly, check this out, guys. We now have a texting service, www.broadtexter.com/KBKLive. Shoot us a text on there, sign up for it. We'll be giving away exclusive prizes after 20 people at least sign up. Also, you'll be getting all the updates from all the episodes and where I might be for shows. So check us out, Broadtexter. So for our classifieds this week, we have Oblivion Myth, Nashville metal band. Check them out, look them up on Facebook. They're looking for a bass player. They've got a really good stage presence, their music is phenomenal, and all just really great guys, so definitely give them a look. Thanks for tuning in yet again, guys, and stay tuned for next time. We've got Harlot. But also check us out on Facebook, www.facebook.com/KBKLive. Don't forget to sign up for our Broadtexter. Also, I'd like to give out a couple of thank yous. One to Thrash Can Productions, look them up on Facebook, and to Piranha, www.piranharocks.com. I want to thank both of those guys for hooking me up with the Soul interview and my trip to Illinois. It was very fun. Anyways, stay tuned for next time.